Okay, so we are live now, and this is on recording.
Right.
Okay, so we'll start 2019 with Pallavi. So, if Pallavi, you can share your views on how did the entries go in the last year, and any feedback you want to give, or any preference on how the work should be distributed for this year.
So I was able to devote more time towards the end of the year. In the middle of the year, I was mostly absent, and I think, unfortunately, that's how it's going to happen going forward too, because my kids' holidays are there, so I'm not able to devote time. But I can attend to during the other parts of the year, and I think work is going good. The meetings help. There's no confusion, and with my availability, I think I can devote as much time as I'm devoting now. Unfortunately, I won't be able to add more time to this. Yeah, so that's from me.
So, I think as one of the editors, I also feel that I think the flexible model works, where we are not bound by a commitment or a target that we have to reach, but we try to give our best as and when time permits. And as far as distribution of work is concerned, I think maybe gradually we can figure out if there are certain topics that we are more comfortable editing, or if there is any preference in the region that we want to pick up, like maybe focus more on the region that we belong to in terms of contribution to the dashboard. So, Andrea, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I'm just, if you give me, 20 seconds, I'm going to pick up the book that I'm reading.
The Fourth Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, I think it's called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Maybe I can take the moment to say that yes, I fully agree, and Pallavi, that's thanks for sharing, and it's very well received. Please remember that there is a scheduling function now that we had spoken about a few meetings back. So there is always a chance. You can always make use of that.
I'm back. Sorry, should I answer to Brenna?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so my strategy here, I think I mentioned it before, but it's a bit of it's like gold mining. So if I find something that is interesting and is relevant for planthro, then I delve into it. I think is the most effective strategy that I've found so far. So in many instances, it has been following online courses that I was interested in on sustainability, on human impact, on pollution, on development. And then what I do is I extract references that are relevant, because these courses, or in the case, in the present case, is a book, they are packed with references that are important for planthro. So it can be a book, it can be a MOOC, it can be a person. Like if you find a personal profile that is doing relevant work, then you just explore through the internet to find more work from that person. And this is a quite effective way, because you know in a few hours, or you can really, depending on the support, but you can really extract a lot of information. So the book I wanted to mention today is called The Fourth Industrial Revolution. Is authored by the founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, so the organizer of the Davos group and workshop. So it's really a summary of his experience over the past 30 years. And it goes through, I mean, it's not only about economy, it's about society, it's about people, it's about human impact, it's about the future, it's about artificial intelligence. So there is really a lot of stimulating material there about where humanity comes from, where humanity towards, in which direction we are heading, which is all very relevant. So to give you an example, I mean, from a book that is less than 200 pages that I'm reading, at night for 10, 15 minutes before I go to sleep, or sometimes more, I've already extracted something like 40, 50 references that I think are relevant for planthro. Some of them I will, of course, go and look and read more. And I think this is the way, to me, that the process is kind of self-feeding.
Right. So just a question. So basically, you're saying that it may not be a geography focus, or not necessarily a geography focus or a subject focus, but something that you pick up and of a relevant material. But just in case if you pick up, not necessarily, and then you can go deeper into just that, and
Yeah,
that.
we always mention that we don't want to. I mean, if someone prefers a geographical focus, I think is just fine, or a topic is just fine. I don't have such strong feeling for a specific geography or topic, so I prefer to go this way. And I think it was clear from the beginning, and I think we should keep that that way. That we shouldn't. I mean, giving priority to a given topic or geography shouldn't preclude us from exploring other things. So for myself, I see a model where, for a period, a month, 2 months, a few months, or a few weeks, I'm engaged in a given topic, which can be agriculture, which can be innovation, which can be oceans, and I delve into it. And simply what I do is systematically I extract material that I think is relevant for planthro and put it in the dashboard. So I think it's a way of doing things consistently. So you go deeper, you don't stay always on the surface of things. So it's not always just a Google search. And it gives you also a way of changing topics, if you like to do that, on a regular basis. So say you stay on a topic for a few weeks and then you move on to a different one.
Well, that Prerna, remember your.
Okay, yeah. I think that goes in well with the philosophy, where we have people from different backgrounds. So it gives a multidisciplinary approach to the data and references we put up. So,
Yeah. Well, I would just add that all this said, there is, for people who are not delving into original sources, there is, of course, still the assigning from the dashboard. I mean, to say if Andre has found 40 entries and Pallavi doesn't have the time to pick up an original book or original resource or a book or, let's say a topic, there is always the assignment that can happen from the dashboard, like we usually do.
Yeah, that's what my worry was, that with the amount of time that I can dedicate, can I actually handle that? Because what the structure that's right now, I can actually handle that. So.
Right.
Okay, in that sense, I'm very happy to keep working in this way and feeding the dashboard. I mean, it's something that I find very rewarding. So I have no problem keeping doing that.
Excellent. I think Andrea and Pallavi. I mean, there's an announcement that we also think now that maybe Prerna can do the assignments of entries in the dashboard to people. Is my understanding correct? Andrea, can you confirm?
Oh yeah. I would. I mean, I'm completely positive about it. So I can very well keep feeding the dashboard, and then I can leave it open to Pretna to make sure that topics or entries are assigned following preferences, and that no one feels frustrated and that everyone is doing what they like best. So definitely positive about it.
So, Pallavi, in that context, would you like to share any preferences if you have that maybe we could keep in mind?
Preferences as in like topics.
Topics or any kind of genre that you feel you're more comfortable with. Maybe, let's say, you're
I
more
haven't
comfortable
really
with
thought about
talks or
that. I'm
anything.
just doing the entries that have been assigned to me, and I think they're working well. But I haven't thought of topics that I would like to do. So my worry is just that I don't have enough time to do that. So what works for me is just getting through the entries that have been assigned to me.
Okay, I think that's completely fair. I mean, there's no issue there. On the contrary, it's like you're giving you're giving us a blank check basically, which is great.
Yeah, I wish I could have, but I'm just like stretched in many directions and I'm not able to give enough time. So I just wanted to be like, yeah, just make it clear that this is unfortunately how much I can handle.
Yeah, so let's keep it at let's definitely make sure it's not increased, but let's keep it if Pallavi doesn't have a strong subject focus, then we can use that fact to our advantage, and I mean BIBLIO's advantage, and that there can be a diversified thing. But let's make sure that there is not. I mean, there is just so much to be expected. Let's keep that in mind in terms of volume of work.
Right.
Right. If I may interrupt, let's also keep track of time. We are 13 minutes into the meeting.
Yeah. So, Ande, do you have any thoughts to share on World Alliance project that you've been working on?
Yeah. So that was one of the points in the agenda. So the application is progressing. So I think we are 90% through. There is a little bottleneck with the video. So the video, I mean, the concept is there. The video is almost ready. Needs to be polished. The application is there. There are 3 people now on it, editing what I drafted over the past weeks. The idea is to submit or at least have a first agreed version by the end of this month, and then submit not later than mid-February. And then we will hear back within 3-4 weeks from them. So the idea is to have that close with feedback included by the end of March, not later. Mid-March, say. And that would be in line with the schedule that was discussed at the director board at the end of 2018, which was end of first quarter. And then, of course, depending on feedback, this may generate more work for later, so become a more intensive objective, or we may have to look for other ways of making it come true. But it's progressing on schedule, I would say.
I think that's great to know. Things are moving forward and as desired, or they're on schedule. So, anything else that anybody would like to share, or any feedback?
Amit, there was a thing that you were mentioning earlier about scheduling. You were referring to on Blogger that we can schedule a post, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So I meant to say that this can take care of the volatility of, let's say, available time versus what gets posted to the public. Yeah, I've spoken about this before. I can again create instructions or like a video for this.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I had one.
sorry. Go on.
No, okay. I had just one quick query that is directed to Andrea. I was just going through one of the entries which talked about a book, Origin of Man. I don't remember the name so clearly, but it was the link that was mentioned on the dashboard was the archive link, which was a downloaded ebook. So I wanted to know if we should be using the actual publisher's website as the reference link that goes on the blog, or should we use the Amazon link from where they can purchase an original copy, or the archive downloaded ebook. I don't know if that is legal.
Yeah, I think the best practice would be to go for the publishers.
Okay.
Again, you are more knowledgeable than I am on it, but I think it would be good practice. I have to admit that when I put resources, sometimes I put several at a time, and I don't spend much time. I mean, normally I try, and if I find it quickly, I would put the original. When I put Amazon, is because I'm not able to find the original publisher's source within a couple of minutes.
If I may add my point of view to this, we should agree that Biblio is not a blog to link people to the direct downloads. Okay, direct source. It's a bibliography to say that this thing exists in the world, and in a way, it's the responsibility of the people who are interested to go and find it. In that sense, the best solution is, like Andre said, to link it up to the publisher or author or whoever is a copyright holder, or we think, right? I think our second preference could be a good review of that book, which we are sourcing our article from. Our third preference could be something like a legal download, like archives. I don't think here we are talking about a piracy website. Some books are actually on the archives, on public archives, and there is no problem.
Google Books, for example.
On Google Books, yeah, exactly. Google Books provide a preview of books, right? And it's perfectly legal. And I think that could be our third priority. And we should, in my view, never point to Amazon, because even if we do this in goodwill, the thousands of people do this as an affiliate marketing tool. I mean to say, they're trying to kind of upsell, they review and upsell so that they get a commission. And we are not in the business. So I think we should avoid Amazon links. And maybe we should find ISBN cataloging of all the books in the world. And there are a few I can try and look up. And if we can't find anything else, then we should just look up the ISBN number, maybe from Amazon, and then link it up to the world catalog of books through the ISBN. But I don't think we should put it on commercial websites where they are basically up for sale. Putting it on Amazon would not even be my last priority, while remembering that sometimes a direct download of ebook, which is legal and in public archives, is not a problem at all.
Yeah, I think
but still, just to complete that, we are a cataloging website. We are a review website. We are kind of reviewing and cataloging, not even reviewing. We are cataloging website. So remember that, and point it to either the publisher or another review, or another authoritative review on the internet.
If I may, I think it's a matter of trade-off as well. To be considered. So if I may ask, how long does it take for you to prepare an entry in average? I mean, picking up from the dashboard an entry and then publishing it.
In 10 to 15 minutes, depends on the kind of entry it is.
Right. So, Pallavi, you agree on this?
Almost, yeah, like 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, it actually does depend on the entry if you have to edit out a picture or something, but usually.
Yeah, and of course there are some links where you have 10 reports maybe to be published, and that would take an hour probably.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's a matter of trade-off at the end. I mean, the way we quantify Biblio is by the number of single entries, right? So this is the way we set targets. This is the way we advertise it. So I think there is a matter there. Of course, we don't want to spend an hour for one entry, right? So say we should say 10 minutes, 15 minutes is the maximum we want to dedicate to a single entry. If it takes longer to find the original source and we don't find anything that we think is appropriate, then is in our interest to skip that entry for technical reasons and move to the next one. I think we have to keep in mind this trade-off.
And it can be marked so in the dashboard for later, for somebody who's available later can try and look it up. But we can mark it as an unfit with a note or something like that for now, or I can create a new label for that or whatever tag for that. Okay, Prerna, it's your moderation, but it's about 20 minutes. It's 21 minutes, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I think it should be a wrap from my end. But if anybody thinks anything is more relevant to be discussed, maybe we can make a point of it and take it up in the next meeting after 2 weeks.
If you don't mind, I'll spend 2 minutes, not more.
Yes, please go.
Okay, so my time starts now. Basically, wiki and opinions are getting done, and since all three websites, Wiki, Opinion, Biblio, the parent website Biblio, share the same template, the improvements in Wiki and the bug improvements in Wiki and the bug improvement in Opinion will also feed into bug improvements in Biblio. So that is something you're going to see. But I have another idea, and I'm going to go to the executive committee of Planthro and ask for $500 budget to create a project for automatic technical quality check for Biblio. And here what I have in mind is a piece of code. When we run it, it goes through all the entries. It looks for aberrations with respect to, let's say, the average size of number of words, number of paragraphs, and number of characters in our. So basically, it notes it down for all of them and sees which ones are too short and too long. Similarly, the images for resolution as well as the posted size of the image, and similarly the length of the title. And I have 20 other things in mind which can be automatically checked. But these are of course only technicals. If somebody, right, and maybe I'm not even sure right now, but maybe even spelling mistakes, but I can't guarantee. And I want to create a very short project. Of course, it will cost some money. It's a software thing that we'll have to develop. Amit Omkari, by the way, has some good experience right now with the development of Wiki on automating things. And I think a nice budget of $500 would be very nice. I'll try to get an approval from the executive committee, and that's my idea. It will be scheduled for not immediately, but maybe second quarter, or maybe even something like second quarter. So that's what I have in mind.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
An item to be discussed in the Biblio, in the editorial board before you take it to maybe as a point in the next meeting.
Sure. Okay. Or maybe on email.
Yeah, I agree on that. Maybe all the editors can feed in with their views on what aspects of posting an entry can be automated. Like a few pointers, like labels could be automated, or maybe checking out the image. And I think we'll greatly benefit from quality control on image and headlines in particular. So we might want to take this up in the next meeting.
Right. Sure. I will prepare in the meanwhile like a discussion on the emails so that there is a effective discussion on the meeting.
Right.
Yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay, so shall we close the meeting?
I'm ready taking care.
Board.
Yeah, it's good for me. Just wanted to wish you all a great year with Planthro and your private lives.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
So Pallavi, are we good to close?
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll try to prepare the agenda for the next week, for the next week's meeting.
Right. Thanks.
Thanks,
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.